Let's be honest. There's a moment in every man's life when he realizes he gave too much to someone who didn't value it. When you cared, when you tried, when you showed up, and she acted like you were just another option. Right now, maybe that memory hits your chest like a punch you didn't see coming, because you know exactly what it feels like to be taken for granted, and you're tired of pretending it didn't hurt. I'm here to tell you a truth most people will never say out loud. Women don't start missing a good man when he's available. They start missing him when he's no longer theirs. She didn't think twice when you stayed up late texting her back, even though you were exhausted from work. She didn't notice how you paid attention to every detail, her favorite snack, the songs that calm her down, the way she looks away when she's trying not to cry. That was invisible to her, because she thought you'd always be there. That was her comfort, her ego, her silent belief that no matter what she did, you'd stay. But the heart gets tired. Even the strongest man can only give so much before something inside him changes, not loud, not dramatic, just quietly. Your energy shifts, your focus returns to yourself, and without even meaning to, you stopped chasing, stopped proving, stopped over-explaining your worth to someone who refused to see it. That's when it hits her. At first, she'll act like she doesn't care that you're pulling away. She'll convince herself that you're just busy, or that you'll snap back into the version of you who always put her first. But suddenly, your silence will speak louder than her assumptions. Your absence will echo in places she thought she ruled. It starts small. She checks your story more often. She rereads old messages. She wonders why you haven't called. She remembers the way you used to look at her like she was the only woman in the world. And now she questions whether someone else gets that version of you, whether she lost something she didn't bother to keep. See, a woman doesn't miss the man she took for granted at the moment she loses him. She misses him when she realizes she can't replace him, when the guys who show up now don't understand her the way you did, when attention comes easily but connection doesn't, when she finally recognizes that love isn't about who shines the brightest, it's about who stays when everything is dark. And let me tell you something you need to hear. She didn't lose you the day you walked away. She lost you the day she stopped appreciating you. Your departure was just the moment it became real. So if you're listening to this and you feel that sting in your soul, breathe. You are not the one who should regret. You are the lesson she will never forget. Women notice the loss long before they ever admit it. At first, she'll put on a show like she's thriving without you. She'll laugh louder, post more selfies, go out more often, pretend she's happier now that you're not around. She'll convince her friends she's relieved, that you were too much, too emotional, too available. She'll tell the world she leveled up. But deep down, she'll feel the emptiness of a man who once made her feel seen. Because you weren't like the others. You believed in her potential even when she didn't. You supported her dreams even when she doubted them. You listened, really listened, when she talked about her fears, her past, her heart. She told you secrets she swore she'd never share. That kind of connection doesn't fade, it haunts. And one day, she'll wake up, and the first thing she'll wonder is why she hasn't heard from you. That's when the panic begins. She scrolls the chat history she pretended not to care about. She sees things she overlooked, the effort, the love, the consistency. She remembers how you were always the one who checked if she ate, if she made it home safe, if she was okay after a long day. And now? No one asks. No one cares that deeply. Suddenly the silence feels like a punishment she gave to herself. Women don't miss attention. They get that everywhere. They miss presence. They miss peace. They miss the man who brought security without controlling them, the man who loved them without conditions, the man who didn't make them feel like they had to compete for affection. You were her calm, and now she feels the chaos of not having you. She'll start overthinking in ways she never expected. Was he really that bad? Did I push him away? Why didn't he fight harder? But the real question she tries to avoid is the one that hurts the most. Did I lose the only man who truly cared? That realization is heavy. It hits her while she's trying to distract herself with noise and new faces. Because those new faces, they don't look at her the way you did. They don't remember the little things. They don't love her through mood swings and mistakes. They want her body, not her soul. That's the moment she finally understands that she had something rare, something that wasn't guaranteed, something she should have valued. And you know what? She won't admit any of it. Pride won't let her say, "I miss you." Ego won't let her confess, "I messed up." So instead, she'll test you. A random like on your post, a short, "Hey," a message that pretends to be casual but is really a plea for reassurance that she hasn't completely lost you. But here's the truth she must face. She didn't just lose you, she lost her chance at the kind of love that only comes once. She will miss you when she realizes that good men don't wait forever. And by the time her heart wakes up, yours might already be gone. A woman doesn't start missing the man she took for granted when he walks away. She starts missing him when she realizes he's finally done trying, when the messages stop, when the calls don't come, when the good morning texts that once made her smile become a memory she can't get back. That's when her mind begins to turn against her. She replays every moment she ignored, every effort she dismissed, every piece of love she thought she could replace. And suddenly, the man who was always there becomes the man she can't reach anymore. At first, she thought you would chase. She expected you to fold like you always did, apologize for things you didn't do, fix problems you didn't cause, carry weight she made you hold. But this time, you choose your peace instead of her confusion. And that shift, it terrifies her. Because now she sees you're capable of walking away from the table where you were the one who brought all the value, but she only sees that after you've left. She'll start comparing, not out loud, not publicly, but in the quiet moments when the world isn't watching. She'll compare the way new men talk to her, short, distracted, uninterested, to the way you made her feel like she was the only one in the room. She'll compare the half-effort attention she gets now to the way you used to show up fully. She'll compare the way those other guys pull back when things get tough to the way you stayed steady even in storms. And comparison is the beginning of regret. She'll wonder why she felt annoyed when you asked if she got home safe, why she rolled her eyes when you wanted to spend more time together, why she pushed away the very love she now craves. It won't make sense anymore, because it never really did. Her pride just convinced her that you would always be there, no matter how little she gave in return. Then comes the insecurity. Was I enough? Will he find better? Does someone else have his attention now? She will peek at your profile, hoping not to see another woman but terrified that she might. She'll look at your glow-up, your confidence rising, your focus returning, your energy improving, and her stomach will twist. Because now she understands something deeply painful. You didn't become better because of her, you became better after her, and that means she was the one holding you back. The hardest part for her to accept is this: you didn't lose value. She just failed to recognize it. A man who loves deeply is rare. A man who is loyal even during hurt is rare. A man who chooses commitment in a world full of distractions is rare. And rare things, when lost, are not easily replaced. You were the chapter she never thought would end. And now she's stuck rereading the pages, wishing she understood the story before you closed the book. Stay strong, stay focused, stay becoming the man she never thought you could be without her. Because the moment she finally understands your worth is the moment she realizes she no longer has access to it. There is a moment in every woman's heart when the silence becomes too loud to ignore. When she realizes the man she once took for granted is no longer orbiting around her. When the attention she assumed would never fade suddenly disappears. And the only thing left is the echo of what she destroyed with her own hands. She didn't think it would happen. She didn't think you would be the one who moved on first. She always believed she had time, but time is cruel to those who waste it. At first, she blames you. She tells herself you changed, you switched up, you stopped caring. She creates excuses to protect her ego, but when she's alone in her room and the world stops spinning for just a moment, the truth hits differently. She remembers who you were before she drained your trust. She remembers how gently you loved her, how you were willing to put your heart on the line without hesitation. She remembers nights you stayed awake, waiting for her reply, mornings you sent messages she left unread because she knew you'd send another one anyway. She remembers how you tried, even when she didn't deserve effort, and the guilt settles in like fire under her skin. Women feel the loss slow, like rising water. It starts at their feet, just a bit of discomfort. Then it reaches their chest, breathing becomes harder, and before they realize it, they are drowning in regret. She scrolls through her phone, looking for your name, hovering over the message box, typing and deleting. Pride is screaming, "Don't reach out," but her heart whispers, "I miss him." She opens your pictures, and that's when the tears sting her eyes, because now she sees what she once overlooked. You were real. You weren't perfect, no one is, but you were genuine, loyal, present. You saw her as a whole person, not just a moment, not just attention, not just temporary. You loved her in ways she didn't even love herself. And the painful truth is, she was more cherished in your hands than she ever will be in someone else's. Because not every man has the patience to stay when a woman is still trying to heal from things she never told anyone about. Not every man is willing to love someone through their walls instead of walking away from them. And here's what stings her most. While she's stuck replaying old memories, you are out there creating new ones without her. She sees the glow in your eyes that she once caused. She watches the confidence she once admired grow even stronger. She notices how alive you look now that you're focused on yourself instead of trying to prove your worth to someone blind to it. She sees your life moving forward, and it crushes her that she's no longer a part of it. Because the truth she never wanted to face is this: you were not a backup plan. You were not replaceable. You were not temporary. You were the one she was supposed to keep, and she let go. And now, the man she thought she could always come back to might not open the door anymore. A woman doesn't miss a man because he leaves her life. She misses him when she realizes she lost a version of herself that only existed when he was there. The version that felt safe. The version that felt chosen. The version that felt loved without having to pretend. You awakened a side of her heart she didn't know she was capable of showing, and she let it slip through her fingers for something temporary, something shallow, something that could never compare. Now she's faced with the cruel reminder that the kind of man who loves with depth doesn't appear twice. She scrolls through her memories like a museum of could-have-beens. The late-night calls where she fell asleep to the sound of your voice, gone. The way you reassured her when she felt insecure, gone. The comfort of knowing someone actually cared if she made it through the day, gone. Those little things that annoyed her before, now they're the exact things she aches for. The predictability she once resented has become the stability she craves, because excitement fades, but love with consistency, that's priceless. And when you stop chasing, she starts doubting everything she once believed. She thought leaving you behind would make her life easier. She never imagined it would make her life emptier. Now she sees the truth. You weren't holding her back. You were holding her together. She sees you healing, improving, becoming the man you always wanted to be, and she can't take credit for any of it anymore. You're no longer her success story. You are now the reason she lies awake asking herself how she let something so real go. It hits her hardest when someone new tries to get close. She waits for the same spark, the same energy, the same comfort, but it doesn't come. Because connection isn't built on instant chemistry. It comes from years of loyalty, inside jokes, sacrifices, and moments no one else will ever understand. She realizes too late that love cannot be upgraded like a phone. It has to be protected, nurtured, chosen, every single day. But the deepest regret a woman can feel is knowing the door she once slammed shut may never open again. That the man she brushed off like nothing is now everything she wishes she fought for. She'll think about reaching out, typing up a heartfelt message, telling you she's sorry. But she'll hesitate. She'll wonder if she even deserves a reply. She'll wonder if your heart still has room for her, or if she's now just a chapter you've already outgrown. And listen carefully to this next line. Her missing you doesn't mean you should go back. Sometimes being missed is the confirmation that you were worth more than how you were treated, that you were the blessing she couldn't hold on to, that you were the difference she prayed for but wasn't ready to receive. Let her miss you. Let the regret change her. Let the loss teach her what your presence never could. Because the man you're becoming now, he's the kind of man she'll wish she recognized sooner. But that chance is no longer promised to her. There comes a day when she looks in the mirror and sees the reality she tried to avoid. Losing you wasn't just losing a man, it was losing the future she could have had. She thought she had more time to figure things out. She thought love could wait until she was ready. She thought you would always be there, waiting, understanding, forgiving. But life doesn't reward those who take love for granted. It shows them exactly what they lost, only when it's too late to fix it. She didn't just lose your presence. She lost your protection, your affection, your laughter, your patience. She lost the one person who saw her flaws and still chose her anyway. And now, when everything gets heavy, when the nights stretch longer than they should, when she reaches for her phone and stops because your name isn't hers to call anymore, her heart sinks. That pride she held so tightly begins to crumble. She realizes she pushed away the kind of man who only shows up once in a lifetime. She realizes that men like you don't repeat, and that realization, it hits like grief. Meanwhile, you are rising. You're learning to put yourself first. You're rediscovering the parts of you that got lost while trying to save someone who wasn't ready to be saved. You're finding happiness in your own company. You're building the life you deserve, not the one you settled for. And as you transform into the man you were always meant to be, she becomes a distant memory of a chapter that taught you strength. Here's the power move most men never realize. You don't need her to miss you for closure. Her regret is not your responsibility. Your healing is your victory. You cared with your whole heart, and that was never a weakness. That was your greatest strength. You showed loyalty in a world that treats love like a game. You stayed when others would have walked away. You loved when fear tried to convince you to shut down. And one day, a woman will see all of that. And she won't take it for granted. She won't make you question your worth. She won't wait until you're gone to finally appreciate you. Let her miss you. Let her watch you glow from a distance. Let her learn the lesson she earned. Because the truth is, she will always remember you as the man she shouldn't have lost. You will be the standard that ruins her for anyone who comes after. And every time she sees your happiness, it will remind her that you were the one. Now I want you to look inward for a moment and answer this honestly in the comments. Do you still want her back? Or do you want a future that values you the way you deserve? If you felt this message today, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and share it with a friend who needs to hear this right now. Your next chapter is calling. Don't let the past hold you back.